Hey, this is Randall Meek, and I'm just here to give you another video. We landed in the Philippines I think on Thursday, yeah, the 17th. And my hair was a mess. It was too long, but I wanted to get it cut in the Philippines. I'd had a haircut in the Philippines before, and it was kind of a fun experience. So I wanted to do it again. This time I've got a beard, and I've got, I would say, less hair than I did last time. So anyway, that's what this video is about. So I'm going to kind of narrate it as we go. So I rode to the barber shop on the back of a 150cc motorcycle driven by my brother-in-law, and that's basically the way they get around. It's a lot better than what they used to do. They've come up a little bit in life, and they're doing a good job. But they took me over here to the barber shop, and never been here before, and it's a little bit. You might think twice before you come to any barbershop in a third world country or a developing country. I call the Philippines a developing country because it's come a long way. I've been coming over since 2007. We built a house over here, and I've just really learned to love the country and the people, and it's just a place that I really enjoy being, and I'm going to be here for at least 60 days if I don't extend my stay. We finally retired and sold a couple of businesses, and we're able to spend a little more time over here. And so anyway, we drop in on this guy. He's a little guy, and he cuts my brother-in-law's hair. And so, it's good enough for me. So I walk in, and of course, I don't speak his language. He speaks Ilonggo, which is from the Iloilo province, and it's different than the national language of Tagalog, which is the main, the national language. So I'm there and thinking, how am I going to get this guy, tell him what I want, and, make sure I get a good haircut. But all those little fears and insecurities just went out the window as soon as I sat in a chair, and he throws the red apron or cover over the top of me, and he goes to work. I did explain to him a little bit, made some hand signals on just how I wanted it, and I did have my brother-in-law there for a little translation, so that helped. But he went to work, and he just took and did a 1.5 guard on the top of my head, just basically shaved most all of it off. I don't have much anyway, so that was the easy part. But I was a little concerned about the beard, and then he did the whole trimmer deal, and just like he's doing in the video right now, and he's doing the scissors right now, but he got out the razor blade and started going around, and he cut down pretty close to the beard. Now I was really getting concerned that he might not have understand, because once you start, you cut too much off, then the whole thing's got to go, and I didn't want that. I'm going to try to grow my beard longer, and I'm enjoying that. And this is the first time I really had a professional barber do it, and so he just it's really hard to explain how meticulous and particular this guy was, and you'll find that here in the Philippines. Not everybody, you can't make big broad generalizations, but by and large they're very they use a lot of their own ingenuity, and they don't have a lot of money, so they have to improvise on so many things. But I could tell this guy was just totally at home doing, cutting hair. And he's got his little shop there. You look around, he's got a little goldfish over his shoulder there, and just little things. He had a little transistor radio up there. I hadn't even seen one of those in a long time. But he's an older gentleman, maybe 50 years old, and that's 10 years younger than me, but he's been doing this a long time. You see my other brother-in-law sitting back there on the right. So they both took me over here to this guy, and he's doing a great job. Look at him, how he combs it out. He just keeps, what I notice about him is he always is looking at the angles, and he'll get on a certain eye level, and then he'll go to work on that line. And I know nothing about cutting hair, and I'm glad he did, see the fan going in the background. This obviously is not an air-conditioned shop, and my brothers are sitting there on a bench made out of bamboo. That's pretty standard, you know. But I just can't get over how meticulous this guy was. He got the scissors out, the comb, he'd comb it out, and he would re-look at the line on the beard, and then he'd just go back to work. And you know, I didn't tell him, hey, it's good enough or anything like that, because I just let him do his thing, and it took him a while. I bet I was in there at least a good 20 minutes, and that's a long time to have your hair cut. So he just really kept going over and over, and I cut out a lot of the footage. I think there was at least probably 20 minutes worth of footage. So I cut a lot of it out so you don't have to sit and watch every little thing he did. See, he's taking a little towel and just, I don't know what he's rubbing all over my head there. But they do just so many different things here just to try to please the customer. They want you to come back. Of course, if you're, you know, from the West or from abroad, as they say, you know, they know you're going to be able to pay for it, you know, and that's how they make their living. So, you know, he probably was a little bit nervous maybe doing my hair. I don't know. He didn't seem to be, but, you know, they don't get many Caucasian guys in there. Most of their hair that they cut is, you know, it's the same black hair, and it's usually always straight. But my hair is wavy and curly, and I'm sure it's more difficult to do than just, you know, straight hair all the time. So, but he got up to my mustache, and I didn't even have to ask him to do it. He just got in there and just kept working and kept working, and you could tell he was really into it. He'd been doing this a long time, and I think he enjoyed doing it. Okay, so at this point, he was basically done. He's just looking around, doing all the final stuff there, doing a double check and a triple check. So I was completely happy as he spun the chair around there and took the cape off and brushed everything down. I was literally amazed at how much better I looked. I know he didn't have much to work with, but he did the best he could, and I was really, really a happy customer. So I got up and, you know, looked around and said my goodbyes and gave him a hefty thank you and the best I could, you know, with a language barrier. And we took off on the motorcycle and headed out that day and went back. The barbershop's about probably 5 minutes from my house, and we were out of there. So thanks for watching.